10:30 today.
Okay, well, it's a dancing Bucky Badger. For those of you that want to decode Jesse's clever tweet, we have another surprise special guest scheduled to appear at 10:30 a.m. today on Wilde and Tausch. Any guesses who it might be? You might have to think outside the box to guess it correctly.
Okay.
So clearly outside the box.
Good
and
tease.
the dancing Bucky Badger gif are the hints. We will work to discern that as we move forward. I will say this. I've now been surprised twice on our airwaves. First by the Warren Moon surprise guest, which was great, although the clue was terrible, and it was nothing that gave us any clue that it was going to be Warren Moon. I just happened to guess it randomly. Secondly, they surprised me on KBN because I like to give Brad Nortman a hard time because he always wants to be my number one ranked favorite punter. And I was recently on their show, and I put him behind Sammy Veit, who was the punter when I was at Wisconsin. And some of his buddies heard it, and it got back to Sammy. And then behind Tim Masthay, who's number one on my list. And KBN surprised me with a surprise appearance from Tim Masthay. So I'm assuming it's not Tim Masthay. Although we could just hire him to do appearances on a regular basis.
That would be
he's very good.
That would be a big surprise, though, since you would be probably the least person you'd expect.
He would be, right after Warren Moon. So we will all find out together except for Tausch, because he'll be addressing the throng at his undisclosed location, eager to hear his words of wisdom. Speaking of words of wisdom, today is Tuesday the 18th. Do we still have those beautiful 6 years when you can go from being a wide-eyed rookie who loves the story of a local boy making good to finding out how cutthroat the NFL is?
No, that deal is done. But we talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service that you get from Pella. But talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. And you always want to have people come out to work on your home, put windows and doors in, that love and care about their product. Pella does that. Pella's team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the sale. Right now, take advantage of windows as low as $22 per month. Nick Lucci, you got any other 22s for me?
Ooh.
Christian Yelich.
Yelly. Jason.
Pat Lee?
Pat Listache. $22 per month and as low as $89 per month for doors. James Jones. Jesse.
I'm out.
Mark Shimura.
Jason. Chewy. Come on. Jesse, give some effort. You don't need certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends March 31st. Well, 89 is a pretty easy number to have more than
Big
Chipotle
dog.
Ben.
Big dog.
Chipotle Ben. Yeah. $89 for a door. What a deal. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
The rundown of 22s since Nick Lucci. Marquand Manuel, Pat Lee, got that one.
Pat Lee, you nailed it.
Jerron McMillan, Khalil Bell, Aaron Ripkowski, he was fun.
Rip. Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Darius Jackson, I don't know who that is.
Don't know, don't remember.
Capri Bibbs, don't really remember him either.
The Bibbinator.
Dexter Williams.
Dexter.
Shamar John Charles, that was going to be the next one I threw out there. And the current 22 is Robert Rochelle the musical. So there you have it.
Are we missing? What other 89s are we missing? Chewy and James Jones obviously left a big mark. Chipotle Ben.
Mercedes
Lewis, yeah.
Big dog.
So lots of great Packers have worn 89. Not quite as many have worn number 22, but maybe that'll change.
Mark Lee was the Packer Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He was 22.
Yeah, he was. Well done.
Okay. Thank you.
Jared Cook wore 89, didn't he?
Cookie?
It's a tight end number, basically, right? Richard Rodgers, wasn't he 89?
JJ? No, I don't think he was 89.
I think Richard Rodgers.
I think he was 82.
Maybe he was both. Maybe he changed numbers. Your guy Fergie, Robert Ferguson, he wore 89, right?
Yeah.
All right, this has been fun, but we're squandering the time we have with you before you leave. Anonymous texter. Were they actually anonymous?
Wishing to remain anonymous.
Or are you protecting their identity?
Protecting the identity is what's a little witsec on the text line here. Listens more.
I like it. My husband used to do security for the governor's wife, and she's a baller. She plays a lot of pickleball. All right, well, Tausch and the governor can play Jesse and I.
We ain't scared. I promise you we're not scared.
And then Jesse could play the governor's wife one-on-one, since they both apparently have good game. All right.
You talking smack to Mrs. Evers?
Well, I think the anonymous texter is warning us that we better not take her lightly.
Tausch is saying bring it on. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I have no problem playing the governor and his wife.
With your bum knee?
Yeah, even with my bum knee, I think I'll take Jesse with me, and I think we're probably in pretty good shape.
Okay, I'm not going to stand here and be slandered and insulted
Jason,
repeatedly.
You don't play.
Well, I need to start. I need my Pickler membership. Head over there.
Get over there and start playing.
I will. After
and then we'll
we
do a
talk,
tryout. We're going to do a tryout with you and Jesse, and then we'll pick
tryout.
It's a cutthroat business, Jesse.
It is. Yes, it's a production world. You know that, Jesse.
Best abilities, availability, Tausch. You better watch out if you're asking for tryouts.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm the captain of the team,
bro.
So yeah,
I'm the captain. I am the captain now. We need to get to Aaron Rodgers talk. Really? I'll keep it.
Don't
brief.
act like you're upset about it. You love it.
Hate it.
I hope that this Viking thing happens and Jesse's got to sing this song. Okay. Jesse, you promise you're going to sing it if it happens. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
No, I need a promise.
I promise.
Can you give him what the melody is?
Yeah, got to figure out what the song is. And
it's the Cats in the Cradle. Yeah, it's the Cats in the Cradle.
Obviously.
I could play it on piano and sing it along. That'd be fun.
There you go.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Complete control. Yes.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to The Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Wilde Automotive's March sales drive is going on now. Get our lowest prices on our best selection of new cars, trucks, and SUVs. We won't be undersold. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Kia, Volkswagen, Buick, and GMC. All with our low price guarantee and Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Plus, get the most for your trade now through month end at every Ewald location. Go to EwaldAuto.com. Warranty on qualified new purchased vehicles. See dealer for details.
Draft day is approaching, and whether you're watching every pick or just there for the party, Higher Love has everything you need to elevate your draft experience. As the best in the Midwest, Higher Love offers the largest selection of organic, clean green certified products at unbeatable value, making them the can't-miss top pick. Higher Love Menominee, an hour from Green Bay, right across the Wisconsin border. Find them at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, and you may be wondering if you are a good candidate for QC Kinetics. If you're having pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, maybe you're having trouble sleeping or doing the things that you love doing, then yes, you could be a great candidate for QC Kinetics and the regenerative medicine. I know when I went to QC Kinetics and saw everything they have with my own two eyes, I was blown away at the tools in their toolkit to make sure that you get your life back. PRP, platelets, plasma, and they have so much they can do to give you your life back. From all the testimonials I've heard and from what I've seen with my own two eyes, it is unbelievable to see the before and after impact of QC Kinetics and their regenerative medicine. So don't wait any longer. Finally, get your life back as spring is unfolding. Get your free consultation today with QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
All right, Jesse, you put this on the rundown. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Vikings, manna from heaven, right? That's exactly what I'm hoping happens. Can't wait for Packers, Vikings, etc. In the meantime, why are we talking about him now? Why?
I find it interesting that the free agents, the free agent frenzy that took place last week saw a couple of significant moves around the league. And then we even saw over the weekend Kirk Cousins signed a deal to go back to Atlanta, which I thought was interesting and didn't make a lot of sense if he wants some significant playing time. But there's still a couple of questions.
Well, first off, he didn't sign a deal. His deal was there, and the Falcons paid it. It wasn't like he re-signed to stay there. He was paid a bonus.
Well, okay.
Which was a surprise.
Important clarification.
Clarify.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, that is an important clarification. I think it's interesting that Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and this quarterback carousel has come to essentially a pause in free agency, and I don't know why. Like, what's keeping Pittsburgh from signing somebody? What's keeping Aaron Rodgers from signing anywhere?
Aaron Rodgers is waiting to see if the Vikings want him or not.
Yep.
And the Steelers and the Giants have to wait for him to see. It's like a bad episode of The Bachelor. Like he's got 3 finalists, and he's got the one that he's really in love with the idea, and he's keeping the other 2 on standby and in case the Vikings decide, you know what, I don't want to be on the show anymore. We're going to go with J.J. McCarthy. We're going to believe in young love instead of 41-year-old love. It's like the Golden Bachelor for quarterbacks between him and Russell Wilson. So I assume Russell Wilson ultimately will be the one who ends up with the Giants because the Steelers don't want him back, apparently. So the Steelers are in a holding pattern because the Vikings are in a holding pattern because they're putting Aaron Rodgers, who's really the one holding everything up. Tausch, does that sound like a pretty good description of what's happening?
Well, listening to Diana Rossini, who has been pretty much on it when it comes to the Rodgers, the Jets stuff. And I don't know if she's obviously got a good source somewhere there, even though Rodgers would disagree. Yeah, I think the storyline, I think Aaron Rodgers wanted to play for the Jets. It didn't work. The Jets decided to go in a different direction. So now I thought that he would probably think hard about retiring if the right scenario, like to me, going to play for the Giants doesn't make any sense. They're not going to win. You're going to end up, do you want to redo what you just saw with the Jets, but with less talent? Because that's where they're at. Pittsburgh makes some sense, but that's you're playing outdoors. Minnesota makes all the sense in the world because they have great wideouts. They have a good group, good coaching, a team that was close to, winning the division and having the best record in football. So they're right there. And it would finish that career arc, and he could shove it up Green Bay's keister. So when you factor all those things in, I'm guessing that's the most intriguing to him. And it tells you a lot that Minnesota is really hemming and hawing, and we don't know. They have not showed any of their cards. So obviously Aaron feels like there's a chance to go there, or he would move along and say it's going to be Pittsburgh. The fact that there's some uncertainty makes me think Minnesota is thinking about it. And then all the reports this weekend were it's up to O'Connell. We're leaving the quarterback decision-making up to O'Connell. And then yesterday you heard that Joe Flacco is potentially that veteran that could go up to Minnesota. So it has grinded to a halt. And you have to think, the legal signing isn't even a week in. Been a lot of action. So for everybody that's saying, you got to move, and Mike Florio was saying how selfish it is, this is a pretty big decision. And if Aaron Rodgers can take his time and the Giants and Steelers are not pushing, which I would, if I was them, I'd say you're either in or you're out. That would be the way you want to do it. He's not, and they're not. So probably my guess is he ends up going to Pittsburgh. That would be the guess that makes the most sense. But if Minnesota gives him that sliver, I think he runs with it and takes it. But I think Minnesota at some point is probably going to look at this and say, is this juice going to be worth the squeeze? I hope it is, because I think from a drama standpoint, storyline standpoint, and plus I think that from Green Bay standpoint, I don't think they're afraid of that. I think they were afraid of it with Favre. I don't think – are Packer fans afraid of Aaron Rodgers going to Minnesota? I don't think so.
I would be afraid of it only, and again, I don't want to tell fans how to feel, but if they don't think J.J. McCarthy's ready, like if it's his knee.
Well, how would they think? How would they think that he is?
Yeah, again, I don't know, but my point is if I'm Jeff Hafley, if I'm a Packers fan, I want them playing the inexperienced quarterback, right? I mean, it's great that they have all these weapons, but we saw the growing pains.
Jason, how good do you think Jeff Hafley thinks Aaron Rodgers with that Minnesota Vikings offense is going to be? Are they afraid of him?
I think if their offensive line is improved, and they obviously invested in that, and they can protect him, and you look at the weaponry that he has at his disposal. I mean, you can say Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football now. You can say Justin Jefferson is. But beyond Justin Jefferson, they've got Jordan Addison. They've got a really good tight end in Hawkinson, who will be better this year now that he's more than a year removed from his ACL tear. I think I'm looking at that team going, I hope they start J.J. McCarthy, because his growing pains will make those weapons less effective.
Jesse, are you scared as a Packer fan? Let's poll this. I don't know how you want to word it without you're going to get crushed because people are sick of Aaron Rodgers, the narrative. But,
yeah, we'll post it from the show account.
Yeah, I don't think Packer fans, it's a different vibe. I think most Packer fans are looking at this and saying, yeah, Rodgers is not the Rodgers we saw in 2021, and maybe he's more 22 than he is 2021. But I do think this gives Minnesota a much better chance to win big this coming season. It's very similar to when we had the Rodgers-Favre transition where we knew Rodgers was ready. I think it feel a lot better because Rodgers played and was in the system for longer than J.J. McCarthy played a couple of preseason games. They have no idea. They have no idea how he's going to play. None. So to roll the dice with a roster that you're going all in on, And plus now they're moving money around in anticipation of something. The breadcrumbs are starting to lead you to think this is more of an option than I think all of us had thought when the regular season ended and we got into this season. I think Minnesota is looking at it and saying we have a chance to. We're built. This roster is locked and loaded, and if they can get Rodgers on a 1-year, smaller deal, I think they're going to be really intrigued by that.
Mm-hmm. And I do think they would be getting a motivated player, and they would also be getting a guy.
He was as motivated as he could have possibly been last year, and it just. I think that narrative.
Well, I think he's still motivated.
We've been saying that for.
I think he's still motivated, and I would also say that I think we forgot, much like we did in 2022 when he played with a broken thumb, and Brett Favre was celebrated, and everyone else looked at Rodgers and said, he's terrible. There was no grace for playing with a broken thumb on your throwing hand. I think the fact that the guy was playing after rupturing his Achilles the previous season, I think that was lost on some. I would be willing to bet that he will be he's not going to be Lamar Jackson, but I'm guessing he will be, even at the ripe old age of 41, a little more mobile than he appeared to be this past season.
I don't know, man. I think when you looked at how he moved at the end of his time in Green Bay pre-Achilles, he was getting tracked down by guys he never used to get tracked down by. You add 2 or 3 more years with an Achilles rupture, he's going to be a pocket guy. He is no longer get out of the pocket, expand, and run play. But
he's got to be able to move in the pocket, and I didn't think it looked like he did that as well as he used to. And you think
another year is going to help him with that?
I think a greater healing in his. Well, let's ask Evan Cohen what he thinks, because they clearly, I saw a graphic from them, unsportsmanlike, spending plenty of time discussing the quarterbacks that are still available. Evan's good buddy, Tausch's good buddy, Russell Wilson, and, of course, Aaron Rodgers as well. We'll get to that after Tausch tells us about American Family Insurance.
Packer fans dreaming of that ultimate draft day experience? Well, American Family Insurance Dream Draft Sweepstakes is your chance to win a VIP trip to the NFL Draft in Green Bay just in a little over a month. Imagine this. You and a guest can score exclusive tickets, hotel accommodations, custom merchandise, and more. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You better not miss it. Head over to amfam.com/Packers to enter today. That's amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Men, you're being robbed of your potential. Research shows a shocking 1% annual decline in testosterone levels. That's why building muscle feels impossible and your confidence is at an all-time low. But here's the truth. You're not alone in this uphill battle. Mentality's physician-directed, FDA-approved treatment doesn't just level the playing field, it restores your body's powerful balance. Our patients experience a documented 30% increase in their testosterone levels. Stop struggling and turn this around. Defy the odds and reclaim your masculine edge at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details and restrictions, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay in Cancun at a luxury resort, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now at 800-417-6411. That's 800-417-6411. You may also be eligible for an exciting bonus vacation in Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your stay for up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation in Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-417-6411. Again, call 800-417-6411 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest or sweepstakes. It is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and is not sponsored by or affiliated with this station or program.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Joe Fortenbaugh.
He will come in year one and do better than you did the year before. And then in year two, he will take you to a completely different level. 6 different teams have gone to March Madness because of him. He has been to the Final Four 7 times. He has won 2 championships. I know that the amount of titles isn't enough to vault him past some people in the eyes of many. The common denominator on these 6 teams is Pitino. It's one thing to be Coach K, go to Duke for decades, and just be a powerhouse all those years. It's another thing to be bouncing around to all these places and have success everywhere. That's literally the definition of value coaching. Everywhere he goes, he makes you better immediately, and then he builds upon that the following year. St. John's is legit. It's not like they're a nice story. They're the same seed that Tennessee is, that Michigan State is.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Something amazing is happening in workplaces everywhere. Devices are learning how people work and adapting to help them get more done. That's because CDW is modernizing experiences with Dell's intelligent portfolio of devices. Thanks to built-in security and AI capabilities, your teams can work smarter wherever they may be. Dell and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 59. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 59 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry, these high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Music means the Killers are coming to Summerfest and Old T, and this guy, they're going to go to the concert together. It is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on Wilde and Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Jason, how you doing? I'm very excited for this mystery guest, whomever it is, in an hour. Obviously, tons of promotion, more than I've ever had joining this show for the better part of the last year. So I am very excited to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to say in 1 hour from now with you guys.
Oh, wow.
Or is it Jordan Love? Jordan Love.
Oh, that'd be good, too. Both good guesses.
Jesse booked them, whoever they are. So I don't know if
Warren
he has...
Moon.
So
I think we got Warren Moon.
Is it an ESPN Madison intern?
Well, are they cleared for air?
No, they would not be. But again,
a short interview.
He doesn't follow rules, so it doesn't matter in Jesse's world. So
he's a rebel.
They call me the hall monitor. I'm the definition of the. I'm a walking version of a rule book.
Well, I understand where you're coming from on that. Yes, you are the hall monitor. I would also say you attempt to set your own rules. Do you not?
All the time. Yes.
Very good.
I mean, you credit Jason and Mark if you attempt to set your own rules and then follow those rules.
It's a gamey play. It is a gamey play.
Yeah. Nice to talk to you, Taps. I know it's a day that ends in Y, so I'm surprised you are here. Anyway, go ahead.
He'll be leaving for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay.
Jason, a little while. Jeez, I think longer than that.
Okay.
As much as we're just happy to have him for however long he's going to join us.
Evan, why is the quarterback carousel stopped as you were talking about?
Well,
this
wait a minute. I got another question first.
Well, then ask him. Let's go. Let's get.
Well-oiled machine over here. All right, keep going.
Well, why? Okay. Is this the first time you've been on the show? Why is the iconic photo?
Why is the quarterback here? Yeah, great addition,
No,
Jason.
it is quarterback related, and I was going to segue into the quarterback conversation, but I just saw that the iconic photo of one of the all-time GOAT quarterbacks was posted 49 minutes ago on X. It's you smiling in your number 2 burgundy jersey that I see framed in the unsportsmanlike studios. Why did you share your photo again on social media? What's going on?
I'm glad you asked. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
The quarterback carousel, a lot of people are speculating, and I have been listed for Aaron Goldhammer, our teammate over in Cleveland, as a possibility for Brown's starting quarterback. So they put me down on that list. So I thought I'd show off some of my resume tape with that great picture of me as a quarterback back in the day.
Do we have the video of all those interceptions? Because the photo's great. But can we get that digitized and posted?
Well, you know what's funny? So I'm going to give you some context around this as it relates to your squad that you guys talk about every day, the Green Bay Packers. So I did, unfortunately, as a high school quarterback, have a game in which I threw 8 interceptions in one game. I'm not necessarily proud of that, obviously. It's not something that I'd like to hang my hat. That's a psychological thing. We don't have enough time for it. But anyway, so for years, I thought Ryan Grant, former Packers running back, was on the team I played. And I learned recently he grew up in that town for part of his life, but did not play on that team.
Yeah, Don Bosco Prep is where he went.
Right. The story was never good. It was better knowing, hey, come on, I was playing against an NFL player. Well, I actually wasn't.
8 interceptions is a lot. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Why is the carousel for quarterbacks stopped?
Well, that's a great question, Jason. I'm glad you thought about it.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's a better question before that last answer. I'm not, just being honest.
You're not very nice to your friend.
Well,
thanks for the,
is it not? I mean, if we're being serious, was it not a better question 5 minutes ago? It was.
The idea. Okay, wait a minute. Let me ask you. See, you're so spoiled in this regard, Tausch.
Spoiled.
Anyone listen? Yeah, you listen to what I'm about to say. I guarantee you, the Wilde and Tausch audience can. Well, what day is it? It's Tuesday, so maybe they can't call in.
Yeah,
but
no
maybe
calls,
they can participate. They can participate somehow. Every single failed high school athlete like myself, if they ever played against a college or pro player, they always tell the story about it. Like, I played against this guy.
But you didn't play against him.
Cool.
He wasn't on the team.
I understand.
Do you?
But I thought for years I did. Well, I played against Jimmy Kennedy. He was a top 15 pick out of Penn State.
Okay,
I did play against him.
I'm sure that was a tough matchup for him.
I'm sure you were a tough matchup for him, too.
Oh, burn.
I'm telling you, people will tweet in or call in if you ask them this. Who did you play against in high school or growing up that made
All
it
right,
to
Jesse,
college or
put
pro?
that up on the
Facebook
story. Page deal. All right, go ahead, Jess. That's a good idea, Evan. Thanks for the tip.
The Facebook page deal. I got it, yeah.
Whenever he says put it on the Facebook page, it means he doesn't care at all about it. Just so you know.
That's fair.
I called Tausch this week on something. I was like, I got an idea for something. I gave him the idea. Deadpan, he goes, next time you call me, can you have a good idea? And hung up.
No, I actually said, why don't you text me those ideas, is what I said.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
But you
all right,
did
so
hang up
can you please tell us why the carousel?
Thank
you. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So this was a big topic of conversation this morning. Because we were all in on Geno Smith and Sam Darnold. And then, all right, now we're ready. Let's go to the 2 state of Wisconsin guys that we're most tied to, and Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Where are they going to go? And it just stopped. And the answer, seemingly by everyone, is Aaron Rodgers. So for all the people, and our show did this, that said Rodgers would not have a market, not only does he have a market, he's holding up the entirety of the market, which begs a lot of questions, right? Is he going to play? Does Minnesota actually want him? Has Pittsburgh hit a new low in waiting for this version of Aaron Rodgers? I don't believe Aaron Rodgers has any interest in playing for the Steelers at
Doesn't seem
all.
Doesn't seem
I think he wants to play. I think there's three options for him. I think he wants to play for the Vikings. If he plays, I think he would consider retirement, and I think he wants an excuse to play for the Giants because that would mean Vikings don't want him. Russ just went back to the Steelers, and then he doesn't have to move, and he's still in charge of the team.
Yeah, but
winning does not seem like the preference.
I was just going to say, he has no chance to win there. The Giants, they're
He has no chance to win with the Jets.
That's not what I don't believe. Whoa. Your own co-host had him as the MVP, and everybody was thinking they were a playoff team.
Yeah, she made a huge mistake on that.
Yeah, well, but
that was a bad
they act like you don't think people had an idea that they could win with him last year. That's defying facts.
You think Aaron Rodgers chose a team for winning or control?
Both. If he didn't think he could win there and he didn't have any say, he would not have went there. It wasn't just control. He goes to the Giants. Then I would agree. It's all about control and anything else. Pittsburgh is interesting, but if he was really, I guess the question is he just caught up and hoping that Minnesota will take him? And if he doesn't, then he would go to Pittsburgh. Or I don't know any good explanation.
I think he's going to retire. I don't think he wants to be coached. I don't think he wants to be coached hard and part of the team. And you're not going to be above Mike Tomlin. You're not going to be above the team. I think what Minnesota gives him is an opportunity to win. And I think the coach is maybe the kindest coach that the NFL has ever seen. And that's rare, right? And Kevin O'Connell just feels like. And I'm sure behind closed doors he will rip your head off if he needs to rip your head off, right? But he comes off as kind, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to be coached in a way that is like the way that Mike Tomlin probably coaches, if I had to guess. I will tell you, and I'm sure, Jesse, you cut this audio up and have played it for Jason and Mark during the show in the audience.
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
Shefty this morning with us had really interesting takes about Rodgers to Minnesota, a long shot, but not no shot. And I asked him, and I said, listen, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you desperately want to go to Minnesota, if I were him, I would say, made enough money, that's where I want to go. I'll play for the league minimum. And Shefty had a very interesting statement. He said he does not believe money will hold up his decision. Money is not going to dictate where he goes. Because it seems to me that what the Packers have to worry about in playing against Minnesota is they have built their team this offseason as if they're going to have a rookie-scale contract at the quarterback position. They may have two of them if Rodgers says, I'll take nothing.
Yeah, and I asked this, I don't know if Jesse has put this up on Twitter/X yet, but if Rodgers is the quarterback for the Vikings, should Packer fans fear that team? What's your answer?
I don't think so. But there has to be the stigma in general about the way they played against the division last year. I would ask you this in return. In your mind, who is a better quarterback right now, Sam Darnold or Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh. Well, I have to go off of last year. Sam Darnold played better last year than Aaron Rodgers did.
Okay, so the twist on that, and this is, I think, what you're getting at, Tausch, is who's a better quarterback right now, specifically against the Packers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Right. So that your thought then becomes he will be a madman 2 weeks a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just Jason was just talking about this revenge and scorched earth. Been hearing that.
I didn't
for
say
a couple
any
of
of
years.
those things.
I
I just said he'd be motivated because I think he's embarrassed about how badly it went in New York. And I don't think he gets embarrassed very often.
So that seems scorched earthy to me.
No,
I was trying to kind of synopsisize it. a little bit.
No, it's not scorched earth. It's
not
Brett
scorched
Favre
earth.
wanting to
It's
stick it to
brimstone
Ted
of fire.
Thompson.
It's brimstone.
Okay. Well, you just continue. I'm sorry.
No, fair. I guess I don't. I guess I didn't characterize it properly. Jason, he thinks Aaron Rodgers will really want to play good football. Is that fair?
That's
is
a
that
better.
fair way to put
That's
it?
much better. Yeah.
Oh
Now,
my
you know
God.
what? You're very lucky. And as you're categorizing Jason's comments, you actually have Jason here to give us those comments. Jason?
Well, he just said something
weird
else,
thing.
and now he's backtracking because he doesn't want to be sound graphed, which is fine. But in essence, he was saying this whole John Wick thing and the whole deal, that's Rodgers.
These are none of the things I said.
Did you watch Running Point
No.
on Netflix?
No.
Oh, it's a great show. Well, not great show.
Diplomat. Let me tell you something. If you want Diplomat as the show you need to start watching.
That's kind of
What
boring.
Fantastic. No, it's not boring.
What about the hotel
It's boring.
movie?
That's not, well, it's not bad. That's good.
Everyone's talking about that show on Hulu with the guy from
Paradise.
This Is Us.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse
Running
likes it?
Point.
All right, I'm out.
No,
Is that a point
it's
card
really
show?
good.
Running Point,
No,
isn't
it's
that with
about-
Keanu Reeves? Surfing?
No,
Isn't
it's
that what
Kate
that is?
Hudson. It's Kate Hudson as Jeannie Buss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that. I heard it's good.
The only reason I brought that up is because there's a John Wick theme at the end, and I know John Wick has been a big theme on this show. I'm with Wilde.
Apparently.
I've never seen any of them. I thought there was a whole thing with you and Bakhtiari about John Wick.
There was, yeah.
There was, yeah.
That was the Scorched Earth tour that Rodgers was on that
No.
Jason thought
All right.
he was on, and then he backtracked.
Could you just ask your question before you're late for your speech?
I don't have any. I don't have a question. You finish up here. I'm questioned out.
Wow.
You're questioned out of an interview.
Well, I mean,
while
at
the
some point,
interview's
Jason's got to
phone.
jump in. Did Wisconsin get screwed in not being able to play in Milwaukee?
I think losing the Big Ten championship game probably helped them screw themselves. Did they not?
No, losing to Penn State at home on senior day screwed them.
Come on. Yeah.
If they won against Michigan, what's their seeding and where are they playing?
They're still a 3 seed. It's just a matter of if it's instead of Denver, would it have been Milwaukee? I don't know the answer to that, but I don't understand. That was kind of the motivation. The Badgers put together a great season, Ken Pom ranking, all that stuff. And then they still have to go out to Denver and play on a Thursday after playing a 4-game stretch. It's just it's just dumb. It's dumb.
Can I give you a stat about the tournament? I'll give you a stat that I did not realize until the other day. Okay. For each of the last 15 or 16 years, I want to say, something, double-digit years, whatever it is, in a row, a 3 seed has reached the Final Four.
Is that right? You got Wisconsin going?
Yes, it's right.
Wow.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Well,
What
you
I'm saying is I would
Yeah.
never have thought to put them in the Final Four. And then you look at the other 3 seeds and you look at their brackets. And this is coming from somebody who's watched one half of college basketball all year. So I know. You look at the other 3 seeds and you look at their brackets and you're like, maybe Wisconsin can be that 3 seed this year. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll join that club.
Isn't it wild to think that the last 2 full-time head coaches, well, maybe 2 last 3, because was Soderbergh ever the full-time head coach? Now I forget.
Yes, for a year. Yes.
I think he was in it.
Okay. So 2 of the last 3 full-time head coaches have been to the Final Four. Isn't that it's just wild for me to think, because I've had this conversation with Jim, Matt, and Molly on ESPN Madison about what are we? Are we a football school, a basketball school? How do we get labeled in that regard?
Mm-hmm.
And we're better recently in basketball than we are in football. But Rutledge had a great point. He goes, we're just a women's, not just in a bad way, we're in a good way, we're a women's sports school. That's what we're best at, volleyball and other women's sports. But if you do the comp, we've had insane success in men's basketball in comparison to football recently.
And in comparison to women's basketball, which has been a real problem for a really long time now. Evan, I saw this from our buddy Mark Silverman, Sylvie as we like to call him, of Waddle and Sylvie on ESPN Chicago. It is the 30th.
Have you had your meal yet, by the way? Have you had the meal yet?
We have not. No, we have not had a meal yet.
All right.
But, hopefully when he comes up for the draft, I'll take him to my favorite pizzeria. It is the 30th anniversary of Michael Jordan returning to the NBA after his sabbatical, his baseball, whatever you want to call that. And Sylvie was there covering it as a young radio sports reporter. It was like one of his first assignments.
Unreal.
It is absolutely crazy. I'm curious, of all the cool stuff that you've gotten to do in your career, including Unsportsmanlike, is there because he calls it kind of the pinch me moment for him. What was your pinch me moment?
It was at dinner one night. It was me, Tausch, and Steve Walsh in Florida. And really, I thought that was the pinnacle of my
And Russell
career.
Wilson walked by.
No. Okay, I'm going to tell a story. It's going to be Tausch is going to get mad because it's going to be along the Ryan Grant mode here. The pinch me moment of my career was 2002. I was a student at the University of Wisconsin. Wisconsin was playing in the NCAA tournament in Washington, D.C. They played St. John's in the first round. They played Maryland in the second round. Maryland won the championship that year. The day of the game against Maryland, I was an intern in the broadcast booth. Matt LePay comes up to me, this is a true story, and says, I'm sick as could be. My voice is shot. You're going to have to do the game. And I said, do what game? He goes, I already cleared it with everyone. You're going to do the play-by-play tonight of Wisconsin-Maryland NCAA tournament. I said, what the hell are you talking about? I do your stats and get you water. You can't put me on the air for this. And he goes, you're going to be fine. Everyone thinks you're going to be okay with this. And I said, well, how long have you been sick? He goes, the last couple of days. I said, why didn't you tell me last night? And he said, I knew you would not sleep and you'd be up all night prepping for this. Game time rolls around. I'm doing charts. I'm thinking I'm going to do this game. And he says, I'm good to go. My voice is good. So it never actually happened. It never actually happened. I swear to God. I swear to God. To this day, it is the biggest honor of my career. Is that moment right there. The fact
the game you didn't do.
The game I didn't do. And I was horrible at play-by-play. I mean, I once did in a Florida high school broadcast that Palm Beach Gardens got to the 51-yard line. There's no 51-yard line. That's not a thing. Go ahead, Tausch. Say what you're going to say, because I know you're chomping at the bit. Go ahead.
I don't have anything. I'm proud of you. That was good. It's good
God,
stuff.
that is
Good
a great
stuff.
story.
It's a good little yarn.
It was the Matt LePay flu game.
Yes.
Yeah, almost.
What a warrior.
It was almost. No, I'm serious. Like, we have all been fortunate enough to cover amazing things and go. I've been to the Rose Bowls, obviously, with the Badgers, the Final Four, World Series. I covered the Marlins, NBA Finals, the Heat a million times over. No big deal. I've been to the I was at some horrible national championship games. Alabama destroying Notre Dame, Florida destroying Oklahoma, or USC destroying Oklahoma, whatever it was in South Florida. I've been to all these big sporting events. I've been so lucky. But when you have somebody, and this goes for anybody in life, like when you have somebody that you truly look up to that's a mentor, like give you that vote of confidence, even for a moment, like what's better than that? Even if it didn't happen. Go ahead. Just Tausch, say what you're going to say. I feel like Tausch feels uncomfortable taking
I think that's a great. I love
Dude,
that
it's
story.
a great story. Evan, not everything needs to be ripped and yarned up. That's an awesome story, and it tells you a lot about Matt LePay's judgment, which is questionable. But outside of that, it's a great story.
Now we're back. Now we're back.
What do you want me to do? I want. This is uncomfortable. It's way too nice and fun, and I'm getting a little.
You know what? In all seriousness, it is an interesting decision. Why would you not just hire a local DC broadcaster that's a professional? Why and then have me give that person the notes? Why would I be the person as an intern to call it on the statewide network for an NCAA tournament team against an eventual champion?
Yeah,
you're right. LePay deserves to be questioned retroactively.
You would not be cleared for air here at ESPN Madison.
We will question him next time we talk to him about that decision.
Jesse, what's your accomplishment? Asking for 3 days off in a row?
Burn.
That cruise I went on, that the Packers weren't in the Super Bowl, and I've successfully avoided disaster.
Everyone wanted the Packers to go to the Super Bowl, not because they're fans, just so you get screwed out of the cruise.
That would have been great. Evan, we were all over the map today, but we did get to get a great story about you and Matt LePay and the NCAA tournament, and Tausch was only belligerent with you briefly and misquoted me 3 times. Thanks for your time. We appreciate you.
Jason, 10 seconds on the original thing, and I'll go. I don't think the younger audience understands the I'm back moment like we all do.
You're probably right.
I don't think they understand the magnitude with no Twitter, no social media, not the level of speculation we have with everything in life now, of when Michael Jordan, out of nowhere, just decides to come back to play basketball.
Faxed it back.
One of the biggest
fax machine.
Faxed it. Excellent detail, Tausch.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's boss.
Wow.
It's a boss play. Boss move. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yep, undoubtedly. See y'all.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. You can hear him every weekday across ESPN Wisconsin, and you can also watch him on, is it ESPNU that they run that on?
They're on ESPN2 until 7 a.m., and then at 7 a.m. it switches over to ESPNU.
Oh, okay. So you got to be a little agile to be able to move around for that, but it's worthwhile. I know Tausch loves to watch it. And listen to it when he's coming back from pickleball. All right, we have got, speaking of exciting things, before Tausch leaves us, and we still have one segment left in the 9 o'clock hour, but you heard me mention yesterday that Thanalysis Live is back. Well, guess what? You're going to have a chance to go to it by winning a pair of tickets to Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, courtesy of McDonald's. All you got to do is be caller. It's March 29th is the event. 2 plus 9 is 11. So caller 11 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 11 right now wins 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live on March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis for a live show that's going to entertain fans like none other. Last year, Thanasis surprised his brother Giannis, who, by the way, was also there. I don't quite understand why the surprise appearance from Stephen A. Smith gets higher billing than the fact that Giannis was at it. But both Stephen A. Smith and Giannis were there, and now you could be there because you never know what Thanasis has planned for 2025. And if you don't win the tickets here on Wilde and Tausch, you can still get your tickets to Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live right now. Visit ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison on social media for event and ticket information, excitement, and entertainment you can't get anywhere else. It's Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino and Carbless, and supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's. Caller 11 right now, 844-770-3776, wins 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live, courtesy of McDonald's. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The man upstairs is making moves, but are they the right ones?
Would you say that this is Goody's actions to make them a championship team, or is this just year 3 of his 5-year plan and it's a stepping stone towards later?
I don't think he has the urgency as much as the fans do. His downfall, if this doesn't work out, is going to be he's too hung up on youth.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Want to know where the snow is? Snow River Mountain Resort in Michigan's UP is buried in it. Over 125 inches of pure natural powder this season alone. Skip the airport hassle and head to the UP's only resort with high-speed lifts. We're talking deep snow, zero crowds, and a season that stretches well into April. Why fly south when winter's best-kept secret is right here in your backyard? Make this spring break legendary at Snow River Mountain Resort. Snow River Mountain Resort, where the snow stays longer and the lines move faster. Visit snowriver.com to book now.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
TGIM. Thank goodness it's March. Court is in session. Basketball tournament time is the most exciting time of the year. Are you set for tip-off? Get those brackets ready and stock up for all the games with a trip to Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960, we've been your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With a selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor is sure to make your tournament party a success. So get those brackets together and start the madness. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow in Maine. See all of our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired, and we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
we can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
Unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. To let it get away on the road.
My view on it today is I don't expect it to happen, and I don't think it's likely to happen, but I'm not ready to dismiss it. So, I think it's a long shot, but there's a shot in there because you just don't know how this is going to play out. I don't think the Vikings are planning on it. I don't think they're banking on it. I don't think they're anticipating it, but I do believe that Aaron Rodgers is interested in Minnesota, and Minnesota has not completely ruled it out.
That is Adam Schefter discussing the possibility of Aaron Rodgers becoming a Viking and incredibly following the exact same career arc in terms of teams he played for as Brett Favre. Packers to Jets to Vikings. Tausch, are you hoping for this or not hoping for this?
If he wants to play, I hope that he ends up in Minnesota. That's what I would say. And I think it's selfish on my end because it would just be drama on drama on drama. And I think that's always fun for us. And I think from a Packer fan standpoint, listen, man, we love juice. We love all of that. We want the Packers to win. And I don't think this moves the needle much more than what I do think when they made the decision to not bring Sam Darnold back, I think they were going to dip. And if I'm them, I am looking really long and hard at this or a different veteran to give myself more outs than just putting all my eggs in the J.J. McCarthy basket, because you have a roster and a locker room that believes they can win. You're spending that way. And it's a lot to ask a quarterback that's never taken a regular season snap to go out there and do it. So from a winning standpoint, I think it hurts Green Bay a little bit, but I think I don't think it's like, oh, we can't overcome that. Like, we knew when Favre went to Minnesota's stacked roster in 2009, it was going to be tough sledding.
Yeah.
Now in 10, they fell off a cliff, and that's what would more than likely happen. But you could catch lightning in a bottle like they did, and they should have won a championship. They didn't, and we're all in Green Bay happy about that outside of Jesse. This would be the case where that roster is stacked, and if Aaron Rodgers plays good, solid, he doesn't need to be a hero, which is what they expected him to do in New York. That is no longer who he is. But can he manage games and go win with that roster? I do think he could.
Well, we don't need you to be a hero, but we do need you to tell us about UW Credit Union, where I've been a member longer than you.
Mark Tausch here, and I am a UW Credit Union member. Been for a year. I haven't been as long as Jason, but I am reaping all the benefits. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And if you're ready to give fees the stiff arm, UW Credit Union will help. No monthly fee checking and overdrafts that never cost more than $5. Members get a bunch of perks. You get your money up to 2 days sooner with early pay, and you get a checking account with no monthly fees at UW Credit Union. Join today at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Brewers opening day is coming up on Monday, March 31st against the Royals. Be here for the first crack of the bat, the first pop of the glove, and that first taste of summer as we celebrate the start of a new season. The party starts pregame with live entertainment and a national anthem performance by singer-songwriter Allison Mahal. Plus, get here early for a special pregame tribute to Bob Uecker. You don't want to miss out on one of the biggest days in baseball. Get your seats for opening day now at Brewers.com.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
o'clock hour, starting at 10:15 of Wilde and
Log on
Tausch.
today or what?
Feels like it. Since I mismanaged the clock, which is nothing new here, I do have one final question on this, because I don't like spending time on things that are unlikely to happen. And I kept saying this as we discussed Devontae, which made so much sense. I don't know if Goody has any interest, and I hated the idea that it all made sense to all of us, but not made sense to him. And we spent all that time, and Goody was never going to do it. Never even contacted him or his agent, Frank Bauer. Ever. Period. So the Rodgers to Minnesota thing, also, you just heard what Adam Schefter said about the likelihood. He called it a long shot.
Yeah.
That said, will the vitriol be far less for him? Like, will it be met with more of a collective shrug than the white-hot intensity that you were part of? And you remember how the head coach, very obsessed with beating old Brett and not very good at handling it in 2009. Do you think from a fan perspective and from a team perspective, it won't be anything close to that, or do you think I'm underestimating it?
No, it won't be close to it, but I mean, it's not going to be in the same ballpark as what the Favre thing was. I think as we've seen over the last 2 years, the time has kind of went by. Jordan has established himself, and at that point, Favre was still playing at an MVP level, and for whatever reason, you could look at all of the different circumstances. People were ready to move on. I think the Favre piece, you weren't, which is ironic because I think everybody knew Rodgers was in a much better spot than Jordan Love was. But it's just people had enough. And I think they still do, and they realize with what Aaron did with the injury and how he's played, I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal, but it will. I promise you this. It'll be a big deal when that game comes, and I would bet that the NFL will schedule the Packers and Vikings very early in that in next season if that does come about, and the passion and all of the intrigue will be red hot or white hot at that point. But I don't think, and that's why I wanted to ask our fans that question. I think from our standpoint, we knew that was going to be a big challenge with Favre playing at that level with that team. I don't think we know that yet because Aaron didn't play probably to the level we've expected. That doesn't mean he still can't. He's got that, as you put it, scorched earth vibe to him.
That is how I put it.
He will be all fired up, but Brett was not 42. Brett was 38, 39. There's a difference in that too. So it will not be the same passion, but I can assure you, if he walks down that field at Lambeau in a purple or a white uniform, he will be booed vociferously if that happens.
All right. We have you until 10:30. Is that correct?
We do. Yeah, we have another segment. Yep.
All right. Well, I want to get to your guy, Dove Kleiman, who I still don't understand what happened with that account and who that is.
It's an odd situation.
But whoever they are posted something that caught both my attention and Jesse's yesterday. So I want to get to that. But before that, if Aaron Rodgers joins the Vikings, will you promise right now to play him on Prize Picks every single week that he is available?
No, I won't make that promise.
Well, tell us about Prize Picks anyway.
All right, Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody and simple, more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. It is the best place to go. You have all kinds of fun basketball stuff coming up. You can combine that with baseball that just started over in Japan, hockey, esports, and much more. Don't miss.
Run
your
game.
Maybe he won't be with us until 10:30. We will try to reconnect with old boy. And if not, Jesse and I will talk about this list because it really interested us. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Multiple sclerosis is an unpredictable, often disabling disease of the central nervous system. There is currently no cure for MS. Symptoms vary from person to person, and MS does not discriminate, as anyone can be diagnosed. An estimated 1 million people in the United States live with MS, with more than 20,000 right here in Wisconsin. The National MS Society funds cutting-edge research, drives change through advocacy, and provides programs and services to help people affected by MS live their best lives. Connect with nationalmssociety.org to learn more.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4-packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Quality isn't just a promise, it's a process. At Higher Love, they craft with integrity, delivering farm-to-table products you can trust. As the only clean green certified organic cultivator in the Upper Peninsula, Higher Love takes pride in growing pure premium products, meaning better quality at better value and a difference you can feel. You can find Higher Love just across the border in Menominee and Ironwood, or at any of their 9 locations throughout the UP. Get more information at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, so your guy Dove published this list, which I'm not going to lie, still a little sketch.
Who, Dove or the list?
Dove. I mean, the list, according to Dove,
So we don't think Dove is an actual human being, right?
No, he definitely. I mean, he may have been once upon a time, but we know he sold this account to somebody else, and be that as it may.
Okay.
Every NFL, MLB, and NBA stadium / ballpark / arena ranked by average review on Yelp, Google, TripAdvisor, and Facebook. And number 1 is Lambeau Field. But interestingly, American Family Field is 11th.
Okay.
In between Pittsburgh's PNC Park, Baltimore's Camden Yards, St. Louis's Busch Stadium, San Francisco's Oracle Park, Seattle's Lumen Field, Boston's Fenway Park, Chicago's Wrigley Field, and Miami's the Kaseya Center, and Target Field in Minneapolis.
Miami's is great because nobody's there.
Easy to get parking and stand in line in the concession stand because there is no line. I wasn't surprised. Everybody loves Lambeau Field. It's a great place. American Family Field finishing 11th, I thought was great news.
Good.
That's amazing.
Well, part of it is, too, I think, and not to toot Wisconsin's own horn, but part of it is the people love having fans come in. Like, I think Lambeau for sure. You want to have, it's not like Philly where you're firing eggs at people and doing this other stuff. You want people to have a good time and give good Yelp reviews. Hey, Frankie let me come and have a brat at his house. He gave me a beer and he let me use the bathroom. Like, there is the obviously the stadium and the
good
amenities
review for
and all
Frankie.
this other stuff, but there is something about we want to beat you, but we want you to have a good time and tell your friends to come. Like, that's what we want as Wisconsin fans.
The Fiserv Forum ranking was 53rd.
Boy, I think the game experience in there is awesome. I do.
And then the bottom rung locations. SoFi Stadium in L.A., 85th. The Golden One Center in Sacramento, 86th. Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, 87th. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, 88th. Barely ahead of the Oakland Coliseum, which the Raiders left.
Sewage running out of that place.
And last place, Commanders Field. I believe it's the old FedEx Field. That's why the Commanders want a new building, maybe back on the RFK Stadium grounds. Any of those surprise you that they're in the bottom? SoFi is a brand new place in L.A.
Yeah, L.A., it's just the fan experience. It's going to be beautiful. But, Oakland, dump. Vegas surprises me.
Yeah,
because there's a lot to do. That one surprises me. But you know what they all could use?
They could use new bathrooms for Kohler Services.
New bathrooms, and it is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
We say goodbye to Tausch. Bye, Tausch.
See you guys.
And we say hello to our mystery guest. I can't wait to find out who it is. We'll all find out together next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Peace.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
IndyCar racing returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park on August 23rd and 24th for the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 weekend. Secure your seats in the grandstands for the best views of all the action. Plus, we've pulled out all the stops with incredible food and live entertainment in the epic free fan zone. Race tickets are on sale now at wistatefair.com. Get ready because IndyCar is back with the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 August 23rd and 24th.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Be prepared for power outages with a Generac home standby generator from Adams. Storms are unpredictable, and when the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. With a Generac generator, your power will be automatically restored whether you're home or away. Rated Wisconsin's #1 Generac dealer, Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power, peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The madness is back, and so is your chance at proving your hoops knowledge. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge, presented by Cousin Subs. Fill out a bracket, earn the most points at the end of the tourney, and get a $1,000 gift card to Cousin Subs. Fill out your bracket on ESPN.com or the ESPN Tournament Challenge app. Just search ESPN Wisconsin and enter the password Cousins, all lowercase. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge, presented by Cousin Subs. They believe in better. Happy bracket season.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I think I know who our surprise guest is. It is not Warren Moon. It is not Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I think, based on the music, it's either Bono or The Edge of U2. No. Almost as awesome, though, as Bono and The Edge. This was his walk-up music for many years on this program. And then Tausch just cast him aside like yesterday's newspaper, which the newspaper did to me earlier this year. It is the Badgers outsider, Derek Blakesley, on Wilde and Tausch making his triumphant return. DB, how you be?
Surprise!
I don't want to speak for Tausch. And I did inquire to ask whether you guys were on good terms because, man, he dropped you like a hot potato like late in that playoff game when Giannis didn't want any part of holding the basketball. And he said you guys are great. You're still good friends. Is that an accurate depiction of your relationship currently?
I
think our relationship is just fine. It's better than it was when I was on the show. We talk a lot. I think it's kind of like not since the disappearance of Steve from Blue's Clues has there been a less clear exit from a show. I think I was off and then it was never on again for a long time. But no, we're good friends. I think the timing of it was generally pretty good. I think you can agree, Jason. Some of the conversations we were having toward the end there were getting pretty dark about some of the directions of the way the football program was headed and what was happening with collegiate sports in general. And so I think a little break from the discourse, and I think my replacements were probably pretty good too. So just super. I was always very grateful to be on the show. We had a great run. It's still, I listen quite frequently to the show and everything else. So and then have some spot duty to show up periodically like today. I'm sure people are super excited that I'm the surprise. I mean, this has to exceed expectations. I mean,
well, I'll be honest with you. I think there's been a lot of folks that have missed your very unvarnished opinions on University of Wisconsin athletics. Now, I don't think Chris McIntosh is among them. We had a difficult conversation a couple weeks ago with Evan Cohen about the football program, and Tausch gave me a Jason to try and not have to answer the question that had been posed, and we all get it, right? He's the color analyst on the Badgers radio network. We understand what that comes with, but you are not beholden to anyone. It's part of your charm.
No. And I'm very grateful, Jason. A lot of people, when I wasn't on for a while, I mean a lot more than you would think, reached out and just were very, very nice. And some people did say there were conspiracy theories, which some degree is true. But I'm not going to go on the show, and I think in the whole country there's just a lack of people that are willing to tell the truth, and I think it's stupid. I think we've gotten to a very stupid place where, in any kind of discourse, you can't have an opinion and state it plainly, and let the facts stand on their own to try and be part of an argument. It turns into, platitudes and everybody getting upset. And so, here we are. But I'm okay with it. I was so again grateful for a lot of the nice things people had said, and the way I was treated very well by the show the whole time. By the way, I mean, just fabulous. So. But I do think there's a void. People need people to get on and say what's on their mind and flesh some things out, as opposed to trying to make everybody feel okay and not have to answer. I feel when I am on the air, the general public, the sports fan, has a voice, and that's what I've tried to do.
I got a Pepsi Zero Sugar here in your name, DB.
My God, it's got to be zero sugar Pepsi just flooding out of the fridges.
Barry Alvarez has taken on your role of critiquing the UW athletic program.
I don't think they're loving Coach over at the athletic department all that much either. I've heard him a couple times. He's also quite honest with his opinion.
He is. He's like the Derek Blakesley with a slightly better resume. Speaking of resumes, because there is a lot of excitement in the YouTube comments. Lots. There are people that are there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation points from Chris saying the Badgers outsider. Bob guessed correctly that it was you,
they're
and
more
then said,
happy
"Let's
about
go."
this than Warren Moon. They're more happy about Derek's appearance.
But Jerry Odd, our French correspondent in Canton, Ohio, asks the important question, which is, since you dropped off the face of the earth on this program, did you get into your high school Hall of Fame yet since your last appearance? Or because I haven't been working on your behalf, has that just sort of stalled like the quarterback carousel in the NFL?
I think everybody would know the answer to that question. I would have found a way. I would have called somebody and gotten on the show. And I guess we can ask publicly, Jason, you were going to be the catalyst to make all this happen. And here we are. It's now 2025. I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and,
well, you just disappeared. Like, again, this was like, who shot JR? Who ran Derek Blakesley off the show? And quite frankly, your friendship with Tausch may be great. I very rarely hear from you. I got to go back. Let me go into my text chains, because I keep every text, which eats up a lot of space and memory on my phone.
Well, I think the truth is this. when you really boil it down, it's like, well, why was the outsider not on anymore? Well, I sat there on the show, and I talked about Arizona State football and Herm Edwards and having a GM and said, this is the direction it's going to go. We're going to have GMs. We're going to have front offices, and it's going to be run. And everybody said, you're an idiot. You're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. I came on 2 weeks later. I said, Jordan Love's going to be the starting quarterback here. I don't know why we're all sitting around ruffling our feathers. Give him the money. Aaron Rodgers is going to go somewhere. He's going to get hurt. He's going to flop. It happens. And now we're still talking about it 2 years later. And I sat there and talked about all these other things, and everyone was just like, all right, you've got your opinions, and you don't know what you're talking about. Let's give this to the pros. Evan Cohen comes on the show. He's taking up some of my oxygen. When I was in college when Evan was at the UW, I was there at the same time. I was making all the girls' dreams come true at the college club on a Saturday night. He was sitting home in the dorm looking in the mirror and making sure he had non-regional diction. I don't know what he did. But it worked out pretty good for both of us. But I'm just saying, I think I got a little too accurate too fast. You know?
Well, the last time I heard from Derek Blakesley was on Saturday, November 16th. Wisconsin was playing Oregon. You asked me where my rooting interests were that evening, and I said for Sydney's basketball team. So there you have it. So now that you're here, and we're going to keep you for as long as possible because I and many, many others are thrilled to have you. My first question, though, is this. Because we'll get to the Badger football program, we'll get to whatever else you have on your mind. But your friend, Mark Tauscher, proclaimed this a Final Four basketball team, the University of Wisconsin Men's Basketball Club. And then they proceeded to blow a lead to Oregon and lose at home to Penn State. Then they righted the ship and reached the finals of the Big Ten tournament. Where do the Badgers' outsiders' expectations lie after the Badgers got hosed and got sent to Denver and are now playing on a short week? What are your expectations for a tournament run?
Well, they've been fun to watch, haven't they? It's been a really, really fun team to watch, easy to like. This is not a Final Four team, and I'll tell you why. I think when we're going to deal with other teams that have length and athleticism down in the post, Crowell is a good player, but offensive rebounding down the stretch when we play tight isn't good enough. And in one of these games, it's not going to be good enough. If anybody has watched the games where we've struggled, I've never seen a basketball team in the history of our program, and we're in a great spot right now. And like I said, I've enjoyed it. I have my battles with streaming companies and what I'm going to subscribe to and what I will and will not watch because I have principles. But when I do watch them, I love the way that they play. Our ability to make shots is better than it's ever been. The way we move the ball is great. There's just that little tinge of whether we've got tired legs from 4 games in 4 days or not, where we're going to go for cold stretches. The offense, what Kirk Penny has contributed to Greg's operation, fantastic. I love it. I think we might have a good run in the tournament, but it just makes me think if we've got length in the post and athleticism on the offensive boards in the last 4 to 5 minutes of these games and we're a little bit tight and our legs are a little bit tired, I see us coming up a little bit short given the 4 teams that can beat us because of the draw we got, which is also ridiculous. People don't like when I talk about corruption either, and I have always a tinge of a little bit of what the heck's going on here. And things don't make sense. Well, there's a tinge. And so all of a sudden you see a team that's hot. We're getting finally some national attention. We're putting up the points. Everybody wants Wisconsin to put up the points. We put up the points. We beat the teams. We go into the places that you got to win. We win. We have one bad game against Penn State where it doesn't work. All of a sudden we're playing basketball at 5,000 feet out somewhere 2,000 miles from home. When just as easily as a 3 seed and where we're at and what would be good for the fans, that's what drives me nuts. And maybe that game ran a little tired for me as far as my rants on that. But the greed and the egos hurt the experience. They've hurt the experience for the student athlete. They've hurt the experience for the fan. Also, we've gotten to this mishmash of controversy, including Bubba down there in North Carolina, who just says, "Well, I'm the chairman of the committee. I run the whole show, except for the 10 seconds I step out and have a cigarette." Well, then they just do whatever they want, and it happens to be that we got one quad win for North Carolina in their tournament. Those two things, the move from not getting to play in Milwaukee for Wisconsin and throwing North Carolina in there when everybody on its face knows that it's ridiculous, is the stuff that makes me so mad as I get older. I'm afraid I'm going to have a stroke. That's how upset I get, and that's sometimes I can't hold it back, Jason. It's passion. I've got passion.
You do believe that they got hosed? That this is not, they lost to Penn State, which was a very bad loss to end the regular season. They didn't win. If they'd have won the Big Ten tournament, even though both those teams were dead dog tired by the time that game.
Wasn't. Yeah, that's not even a basketball game. That fourth game, but you watch us compete against Michigan State. You look at the way the ball moves, the way we shoot free throws, all the things we do right as a team. Defensively, some of the things we're able to do. This is a team that people want to watch across the country. We have a star in John Tonje. We got two of the coaches from our from other teams that step up after they say he's the best player. So we got arguably the best conference in college basketball, arguably the best player, arguably with the most compelling team that's not completely bought and paid for up and down. And where are we going to play when we're on national TV on Thursday? Denver. And we're a 3 seed. Yeah. That's the type of stuff. I don't let that go. I don't just move on. It's like some of the things with the officiating and all these reviews. And everyone's like, well, that's terrible, and then they move on. I have a hard time as a regular guy spending my time away from my children or cleaning the house. And I'm going to make an investment in doing this and watching some of the things that they unfold. And then that's all of a sudden we just move on to the next game, move on to the next thing. Well, sometimes I get stuck. I still know that Joel Stavi's knee was down, and I still have nightmares about it. That's how hard it is for me to move forward from some of these things. And that's why I get frustrated.
In the interest of full disclosure, Joseph, in the ESPN Madison comments, frankly not excited, a bit underwhelmed with this surprise. I will try to keep an open mind and listen. Good content so far. Just expected a famous guest.
Has he been downtown on a Saturday night? Has he been downtown on a Saturday night when the outsider comes rolling in?
Downtown Reedsburg or downtown 40s. Somewhere else?
Well, downtown Reedsburg mainly. Loganville or Laval if you're real local in Sauk County. I come rolling in there sometimes. Yeah, I mean, look, people are going to be disappointed. I get it. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to hear from a fellow Badger, someone that's got a little skin in the game. Why, for the 5 millionth time, we're going to talk about how bad of a quarterback Aaron Rodgers has become? He should have retired 2 years ago. But yet, we'll still talk about it day after day nationally. Sure, let's talk about a guy that can't evade the rush anymore. He can't do the things he wants to do. He's not a team guy. The reason he doesn't retire is because he's got nothing to retire to. That should be the end of the conversation. What more is there?
He's earned a victory lap on this one. It's fair. He called it.
Yeah, he called it. He undeniably did. I do want to get into where the Badger football program is at because you are unfiltered, unfettered. I wouldn't say unconnected because you have your connections. You're like Ben Brust getting that scoop on the Packers going to Ireland. You're on top of things. So I do want to get your thoughts on that. One more thing on basketball, though. You mentioned that this team is not entirely bought and paid for like other programs. I am curious what you think of the job that Greg Gard has done in assembling in the current landscape, and we'll talk about it in football realm next. But what do you think of the job Gardo has done? Because Tausch and I are obviously very much biased. We both consider Greg a friend, and we're always pulling for him. What do you think of the job Greg Gard has done with this team specifically?
I just listen to other coaches, and you listen to the press conferences. You listen to the press conferences after games. And what's the first thing? And even years where we're not excellent, coaches say, hey, when you know you're playing Wisconsin, you're playing against, they're not going to beat themselves. That's a big sign of having a good coach. Mm-hmm. They're not going to go out and they're disciplined. They value the ball. Those are the kinds of things that tell me he does the right things. When we get our revenue sharing money, and then we have to divide that up amongst players, we're limited to what we can do because we have a lot of success at UW across sports, including women's, which is interesting. So I think given the parameters that we operate in here, we got a guy out of Verona, or out of Oregon, lives over here, and so does by Jim Carvalho. He's a top player in the country. Everybody wants him. What are the odds that financially we can bring a player like that in? Probably 0. Mm-hmm. So we have to put teams together. Greg's got to put teams together that can compete in the top conference, and we're like at the top of the conference. I think his results, and I think the way he carries himself, and as a family man, I think that speaks for itself. My opinion of the average guy off the street who knows nothing about enough about basketball is just to listen to other coaches. He's fantastic. And we're lucky to have him, and we're getting the results. It's not going to be every year. We don't have the resources to do that. But we can have years like this where it's going to be special. And I guarantee you, guys are making plans, because I know I am, of going down and watching Sweet 16, kind of getting that second weekend. And that's what Badger basketball's got to be, is trying to get to that second weekend and then see where the chips will fall.
Yeah, and the plans to go to Milwaukee on Friday, scuttled by the committee.
Why? God forbid make anybody happy and do the right thing. No way. NCAA won't do it.
We'll do the right thing and spend more time talking to Derek, get his thoughts on where Badgers football stands as the spring practices are underway in Madison. Want to remind you, doing the right thing. Do the right thing if you've been injured in an accident. Make the call. One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm, all the great lawyers that are there. And again, David is affiliated with all your favorite teams. He does so much in our communities. He's the best. And you want the best on your team if you're fighting for your rights after an accident. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Continuing our call with Derek Blakesley, the Badgers outsider. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Comes to offering medical coverage to your employees. Saganiac Planning can coach you on ways to balance costs and prioritize care for your employees with coverage provided by United Healthcare. Call Steve Llewellyn, 262-783-6161, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliate. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or its affiliate. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Basketball Greatest Scorers. The Marquette Greatest Anything must include Dwayne Wade, but he only played 2 seasons, so he can't match the numbers of those with 3 or 4 years. But Wade is the leader of the 2-year club. Career average 19.7, among the best ever. Similar to Jim Jones' 2 years, 19 a game. And 2-year club, add Andrew Rousey. Like Wade and Jones, a season averaging over 20 points per game. Dwayne Wade, Jim Jones, Andrew Rousey, among the greatest scorers with only 2 seasons of play.
Gruber Law Offices Thanalysis Live is back March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis Adetokounmpo for a live show that's sure to entertain like none other. Last year it was a surprise appearance from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. You never know what Thanasis has planned for 2025. Get your tickets to Thanalysis Live right now. Visit ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter for event and ticket info. It's Gruber Law Offices Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbless. Also supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Picture it. Beautiful plants, freshly mowed lawn, crisply edged flower beds, and your grilling dinner out on an incredible back patio. Landworks Wisconsin is ready to plan your green space. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all your landscaping needs. Their team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Continuing with Derek Blakesley. Some very excited at this surprise, others, kind of mid. But he's never mid in my mind. And I do picture him running with his overalls across Barry Alvarez Field at Camp Randall Stadium. Maybe you can wear those when you go to see Coldplay or Morgan Wallen at old Camp Randall this summer. All right, Derek. Let's have the conversation. Tausch isn't here. Is Luke Fickell ultimately going to prove to be the right guy for Badger football?
I think Luke has got a little bit of time here. Look, this is a really complicated time in the sport. There were 2 points in the season, USC and Ohio State, where I thought we were a quarterback away from winning the football game. I mean, we didn't have a quarterback, and we had an offensive coordinator. The decision to bring Longo in wasn't bad. It just missed. We needed something different. And it was more than just a feeling we needed to do something different. We had to do something different. We did. I don't know what the hell that was when I watched it on the field for a couple of years. It was mind-numbing that we would go to running short zone routes in tight spaces with quarterbacks that couldn't see over the line. I mean, it was unbelievably complicated, simple offense, and that we did not have the athletes and the matchups to take advantage of. So we move on from that chapter. Luke's in the prime of his coaching career, and he's at Wisconsin. We only have so many resources to work with. And with that scarcity, there's things that are valuable to us. One is stability in our program. That's how we can bring people in. Athletes that still value the educational component. We have one of the finest universities in the world. But we got to hit. We got to hit in key positions. The reason we weren't winning games before is once you stop the run, we couldn't make you pay. So what we were saying offensively the last time before the unfortunate disappearance of the outsider was we need to be able to push the ball down the field to get people into a two deep so we could have some blocking matchups up front so that we could run the ball and we might be able to get a quick score every once in a while we had to get the amount of points scored up. So now we're going to bring somebody in. We're going to do it a little way that fits the personnel we can bring in. Fickell's got time. And I think the athletic department is doing everything we can with the collective. I mean, really it's going to come down to people are going to have to open up their wallets. Nobody wants to talk about this. It's uncomfortable. It's like, oh, we already give enough money for seats. It's going to take money. Talent out. And right now, until the rules go into place, I think it's going to be 2-year contracts and some things to put some guardrails in place. it's going to take a lot of money to bring in the top talent skill players that are going to tilt the field and will be the difference in whether you win or lose some of these games. And we need a quarterback. And if we bring in one more quarterback that cannot get a first down with their feet on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, we will not have success in the Big Ten. We can't be pro-style drop-back passing. That's not going to happen. Even if we finally bring play action back into the fold, we need an athlete at quarterback that can earn first downs with their feet and can be effective with an option or other types of looks on the goal line, so we're not down there kicking 15-yard field goals or not getting it on 4th down. We can't afford those momentum swings.
Derek, when you say it's going to take money, I know you're independently wealthy, even though you have all those kids and all those activities and hockey fees and everything else. Where does that money come from? Because I'm a proud alum of the University of Wisconsin. I set up a scholarship in the journalism school for my friend Tom Mulhern. Where are you going to come up with all this money? Because you don't have that. You don't have that money laying around. Neither do I. Do we have enough deep pockets until there is some sort of salary cap in place to do what you just said you need to do?
Hey, it's been a good year for Derek Blakeslee, so don't, but not that good of a year. You're right. So if I was advising, if you sat me down right now, and I sat with Mac and I had an hour and a half, off the top of my head, there's two things I'd want to do. The people that are going to fund this and help get this thing back on track are going to be the former athletes and pro athletes that have made it big here. If Tausch was here, this is when he'd get up and walk out of the room. It's kind of like when the bill comes at the restaurant. He goes to the bathroom.
Sure.
He doesn't want any part of it.
Goes
it's
to find
be the
Tommy.
former
In
athletes.
fairness, he's not here.
It's true.
Oh, he took me off the air for a year. He's not here for 5-10 minutes. I'm going to have to tell the truth as it is. So, and I think that those former athletes and our current athletes, we need to leverage the partnerships that we have in the all the way up through the Fox Valley and all the way through the rest of the state. We got to take the show on the road and mount a bit of a PR campaign to raise money and to raise awareness about UW athletics, the collective, how the collective works, how revenue sharing works. And we got to involve our current players. And obviously then it takes generational money. Look, we're doing projects that are $238 million. We forgot to put a decent track in, but we still had the money to do it.
That's still unbelievable.
Right? It's unbelievable. And I would mention my good old friend Tara Clack-Bell and her family helping with the track program to get some training and done out there, going out to Lodi. I was just reading.
That's a great facility that her dad built.
Former warehouse that Rich had available, so we could get our Division I top end track program out.
National championship contending track program, which is homeless. Yes.
It's a question about priorities. It's a question about the folks that have the generational wealth. You look at the buildings on campus, guys. You look at the Mortgage Foundation. You look at all the places. There's got to be a prioritization here. But I think if you're going to have guys that have made it big and they've made their money, we have the biotech industry. We've got other companies who've done very well around here, and I feel like at the end of the Alvarez era in football, some relationships with some of the donors, it got a little sour. Some of the money that was going into athletics was diverted into other parts of the university. There needs to be some repair. There needs to be the addition of athletes that they like to comment on what's happening with the program, but I'm not exactly sure the wallets are open yet.
That's a fair critique. Lots of opinions for sure.
Who wants the team to play better? And Brian's going to have to shell out. If Melvin Gordon's got opinions, these guys that done the university has catapulted them to great places. There's more. Russell Wilson. So people are like, "Where's the money?"
Well, Russell Wilson was here for 6 months. I'm not sure he cares that much.
That was a tremendous 6 months.
It was.
That was almost as good of a surprise as me showing up for half an hour a day. So the resources are there, but we got to get out to the public. I feel like generally the athletic department operates internally and into themselves and with the collective. That's got to flip. I would invert that. We have to be out in the communities. We got to be taking these college athletes and giving them, reimbursing them for their time. But get out, do the charity softball game, do the charity basketball game, go out and have the autograph sessions, work at the car, do the car dealership stuff and sign some balls and things, and talk about the things we're going to need. When people walk out of there, they have to understand how money's raised, how it's we got to make decisions about who's going to get it, and actually individual players. And there is very little transparency, and most people don't know this. If you lose a player to Michigan State because they sign into some contract, some NIL deal, you don't know what that number is. There is no transparency on accounting for what another school is paying.
Agreed.
So you don't know. You can't set a darn market. You can't set a darn market. And it goes back to the egos of the people of the NCAA that saw this coming. Because I can tell you, if a moron like me can walk off the street 3 years ago and talk to an award-winning journalist such as Jason Wilde, and we both sat there with our mouths open going, this is not going in a good direction in general for college athletics. And they just let the train wreck happen, and now we're sitting there trying to build the plane while it's flying, and it's difficult. But until the markets are set, you're playing a guessing game. And so people need to understand that. We need to put regulation around it that can be an enforcement. What does enforcement look like, and what's reasonable? I think in our society, this is a big thing because I may never be on again. You have to exercise discretion. People have to make choices in discretion and show that they have the freedom to make good choices on facts. And in the absence of that, stupid things happen. And when stupid things happen, we have consequences. And that's what we're seeing in Division I athletics, with an experience that athletes are struggling with. A lot of guys don't even find teams after they go into the portal. Their careers are over. They haven't gotten an education. It's a waste. And then a lot of fans don't even know who the starting five on their basketball team is, and much more, they're not going to know who it is next year. So, look, as a tactical matter of fact, we have to hit on a quarterback finally. And we've got to get to an offensive coordinator that when we go out there, I mean, let's talk about this, Jason. Everybody should know what the play is that we're going to run. We can't be calling timeouts because we have no idea when we're at the 3-yard line about to score what everybody's role is, what their job is. And so that's why I'm optimistic. And I think that the athletic department is getting trashed far more than they should be for how difficult this is in our market and with a university that actually is legit as one of the top research universities in the world. There's a lot with the mission there that's very valuable, but this is a tough job. And until they get some rules, and I think Mac talked about it in front of Congress, we need to have a modus operandi so that everyone can then put their models in place and we can compete. It doesn't have to be a level playing field so much, but there has to be guardrails and safeguards to make sure that this hasn't spun out of control, because eventually the dollars will stop flowing in when everything gets concentrated into a few schools, which you're seeing.
All right, Derek, last thing. If those guardrails are put in place and the money is there, do you believe that Luke Fickell will get the players and they will have that success? Because I just as you've been talking, I've had a number of folks, both in the YouTube comments, private talk and text line, a couple of tweets. They are Fickell doubters. I am not in that group. I'm a wait and see person on Fickell. I was a Jim Leonard stan. I will acknowledge that. I don't think that prevents me from giving Luke Fickell the credit that he deserves if things go the way you want. But there was a lot of fanfare and a lot of this was the perfect hire when it happened. And at this point, it doesn't feel quite that way.
Yeah, but I think there's a real conversation we have to talk about division of labor in a large football program. If the guys on when a bad play, negative play happens, we lose 2 yards. Like, Luke Fickell doesn't know what plays right. You got to realize what the head coach's job is. Head coach is going back and forth with administration. You're going back and forth with partners. You're going back and forth with your recruiting apparatus. You're going back and forth with looking at finances. You got a calendar you're supposed to follow. And then you sit in on some of the game planning, and I think Luke can manage all those things really well. It's hard to find a football guy that can handle administration like the one at UW well, and he can do that. He can get out in front of the media, and he can say the things he needs to say. He knows football. Given a set of circumstances that gives him a better chance at success, he missed on his offensive coordinator. But I don't mind that he was wrong or that he missed. He took a shot. He's got 2 years. This year is going to be tough. We got a tough schedule. Hopefully there's going to be more rules in play. We can get a big win. I just can't overstate it. Either you get a quarterback that can put points up one way or another, or you don't. And you're going to be in a reasonable offense and you're going to find the matchups you want and be able to take advantage of the bottom of the conference. And in a home game, night game, take out one of the top guys during the year. That's where we're at right now. That's just the reality of it. And there were times we were much closer than people want to talk about it, doing just that. So this year he gets a pass. We're going to see what this offense looks like. I think he can also recruit. The tools are there. He needs – my guess would be he's a little taken aback by the circumstances that he walked into when he finally started to peel the onion. So it's going to take time. It's a big ship, and we got big-time competition of people putting tremendous amounts of money. The biggest risk in college football right now is not that we're going to have a minor league for the NFL. That's already happened. The biggest risk is that there's a two-tiered system in college football where you're recruiting kids, you're developing them, you're paying out of pocket, and as soon as they get good enough, they're going to go to the next echelon of college football. And you don't want to be below the line, be in the farm system for the farm system, because that's where dreams go to die. And that's what we need to avoid.
All right, Derek, before we let you go, again, in the interest of fairness, in the YouTube comments, we got Tim saying, I, too, am disappointed with this surprise. I usually tuned out when he came on. And then on the flip side, from C. Schaub, the outsider. I taught him the ropes of sales when he was just a youngin'. I can verify he knows how to party. Tell him Shabel says hi. So yeah,
my old friend Chris Shabel, Marquette alumnus. Chris is also we're in the same business. Yeah, we're in the same business. Here's the thing: when you're on the radio and you're a big time celebrity, you're not going to be for everybody. And
Lord knows
it'll be the guy that it'll be the guy that says he tunes out is the guy that guarantee tunes in the next time whatever that is.
Well,
that's a little
6
bit
months or so, most likely.
Well, that's a little better than the deal I was offered the last time, which was the non-compete and non-show up at all. She'll live in infamy. But
well, no, Jesse has one last text that expresses the feelings of many.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is incredible. Mike and Madison, I'm going in for cancer surgery in 3 hours. Hearing the Badgers outsider makes my day.
Wow, the healing power of the outsider.
How cool is that?
That is overwhelming to respond to. And I don't know what your situation is, man, but I get the juju, I get the vibes that it's going to go well and you're going to get a positive outcome. So that's great, obviously.
Pretty powerful.
Powerful stuff.
Mike, when you come out of surgery, Derek Blakesley will be there with some ice chips and some Jell-O. And we wish you nothing but the best in your surgery. Speaking of wishing someone nothing but the best, Derek, I don't know when you'll be on again. Certainly, Tausch takes plenty of days off. So if he can have Orlovsky on when I'm not around, I can certainly have you on when he's not around. We appreciate you, buddy. It was great having you back. You're no Warren Moon, but you're not too shabby, buddy.
Always a pleasure, and I am like everybody else, hoping we make a big run here in the tourney. I'll be available through Twitter on Thursday doing nothing other than watching basketball. So thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. And I guess see you in 2026. 2026, we're going to make the thing happen.
Landing there, Derek.
That's why he's the
best. What am I, Nadia Comaneci here? I mean, I do the best I can.
2-4.
Back 2-2 with Roberson.
Last name Roberson, last name Blakesley.
Little memory lane. All right, that's Inside Pool, everybody. Nobody cares. Hey, have a good rest of the week. Thanks for having me on. Talk to you soon.
That is Derek Blakesley, the Badgers outsider, rejoining us for the first time in a long time. Could not be happier. Jesse, probably not the kind of, oh my God, it's a Pro Football Hall of Famer surprise, but still a really good surprise, and you know how much we love Derek. So
clearly there was a lot of positivity with his appearance. So
no doubt about it.
Glad we could make some people's days by bringing Derek back, and for those of you that didn't enjoy it, sorry.
Well, we wish Mike in Madison nothing but absolute best success with his surgery. We appreciate him sharing that. We are very late for starting the 11 o'clock hour, but Derek is worth it. And it's worth making the switch to Associated Bank as well. Paula and the girls and I made it. Gosh, it's going on a decade now that we made the switch. You should make it too, not just for Packers checking, not just for Badgers checking, not just for Brewers checking. If you want any of those, we don't have any of those. What we do have is the best customer service in the industry. So go check out AssociatedBank.com. Find out more about early pay, where you get access to your direct deposit up to 2 days early. Find out more about credit monitoring and fraud protection. Find out about all these surcharge-free ATMs they have, over 30,000 of those. And find out what makes them special. They are a local bank. It's not branches that make them a local bank, although there are plenty of branches. It's their roots. Their roots are right here in Green Bay. Associated Bank. You've got this. The 11 o'clock hour starts late. We'll see if Tausch is here for it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
IndyCar racing returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park on August 23rd and 24th for the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 weekend. Secure your seats in the grandstands for the best views of all the action. Plus, we've pulled out all the stops with incredible food and live entertainment in the epic free fan zone. Race tickets are on sale now at wistatefair.com. Get ready because IndyCar is back with the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250, August 23rd and 24th.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum. Modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Bruston Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hour of Wilde and Tausch.
11 o'clock hour. It's 11:30.
Well, it's 11:18.
Oh, he's back.
Great to have you. And thanks to Derek Blakesley, who was the surprise guest.
The Badgers outsider was a surprise guest?
He was.
Oh.
And we dispelled the myth that you two were not on good terms.
Yeah, why would we not be on good terms?
Well, because he left the show and he never came back.
Because he's your buddy and you kicked him out.
I didn't kick him out. That's not my deal. You take that up with a different company. Not me.
Who, me?
No.
No, I don't think it's you either.
I think it is what it is. Let's just.
All right, we're happy to have you back. You're going to tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin again momentarily, but first you're going to tell us how'd the speech go?
Went
how'd
good.
The Q&A go?
So I spoke longer than I probably should have. I always enjoy taking
sounds like our show.
More. Yeah, and I didn't interrupt anybody, but the speech was very well received. The questions were good, and I learned something.
Oh, what'd you learn?
Do you know where John Heisman is buried?
Underneath the Monona Terrace Convention Center?
No.
Underneath Giants Stadium in East Rutherford? No, that's Jimmy Hoffa.
Is this like a punchline to a joke, or is this a real trivia? Okay.
This is a real trivia question. Again, it's not vetted, so it's just like our own trivia game. Nobody vets anything on our trivia either.
That's coming up next.
Fair.
What would you say is one of my favorite cities in the Northwoods?
Bayside.
It's Bayfield, but no. Yeah. Madeline Island is another one. I love that whole area.
Rhinelander?
Rhinelander. He is buried in Rhinelander.
Jesse looked that up.
I did.
Check it out.
No.
Yeah, you did. Cheater.
I did not look it up. I don't look anything up around here.
Put up
That's
reverse
true.
cam. Not that would tell us.
You think he researched something?
That's fair. That's a fair point. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it was well received. How did John Heisman's burial plot become part of the discussion?
Great question.
I took some photos and shook some hands afterwards, and a guy came up and said, "Hey, do you know where John Heisman's buried?" I said, "No, I don't have a clue." And he goes, "You know who he is, right?" And I said, "Well, I'm assuming
never heard of him.
I'm assuming it's the Heisman Trophy, dude. I was a voter for the Heisman Trophy for a long time.
Until you weren't.
Until I just decided to stop doing it. It's Johnny Heisman is buried in Rhinelander because he met his second wife, and she is from the Great Northwoods. So whether or not if any of this is true, I don't know. I'm just telling it off.
No
of what
vetting whatsoever.
None, not even a little bit.
Well, we're thrilled that you're back. Just in time for us to play trivia and for you to not participate.
It's Geography Wednesday trivia on a Tuesday. We talk a lot about trivia, don't we, Jason? We also talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service that you get from Pella. But talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do, just like the Heismans loved Rhinelander. Pella's team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the sale. And right now, take advantage of windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends March 31st. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Trivia is Badgers Trivia Tuesday because we have the Badgers Outsider and because we do Wisconsin geography on Wednesdays. Jesse, which caller would you like? I was thinking, November, December, January, February, March. That's been 5 months since I last heard from Derek, and even longer since he'd been on the show. So I was thinking caller 5.
5 works great for me. Let's do it.
Caller 5 for trivia, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 5 plays trivia. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is on air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Service. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Think ski season is over? Well, think again. Granite Peak's bringing you Wisconsin's longest ski season, going strong through April 6th. We're talking spring skiing at Wisconsin's largest resort with live music, fireworks, and endless snow across our incredible terrain. Make it a getaway in nearby Wausau, where comfortable lodging and family activities await. Why travel far when the best spring skiing is right here? Book your ski and stay packages today. Visit skigranitepeak.com for lift tickets and lodging packages. Granite Peak, where winter lasts longer.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Wilde Automotive's March sales drive is going on now. Get our lowest prices on our best selection of new cars, trucks, and SUVs. We won't be undersold. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Kia, Volkswagen, Buick, and GMC. All with our low price guarantee and Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Plus, get the most for your trade now through month end at every Ewald location. Go to EwaldAuto.com. Warranty on qualified new purchased vehicles. See dealer for details.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Strong mind, strong body, and strong communities. That is what you need to know about the Princeton Club, and that is what you can achieve at the Princeton Club of New Berlin. When you walk in there, you will feel completely motivated to better yourself just like everyone else is doing. I've done personal training. They have saunas. They have workout classes. They have basketball courts. They have indoor-outdoor swimming pools. It all starts with a tour. Check it out. You're going to fall in love. Free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. Check out the Princeton Club of New Berlin. Get your tour and take that small step to a bigger journey for a better tomorrow. That's at theprincetonclub.net.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Time for trivia. And one of the GOATs joins us. The Hall of Fame planning it's kind of like the NFL quarterback carousel. It's on pause at the moment. But this guy's in the conversation. Came to see us at Steinhoffel's years ago. Always supportive. Is Jerry in the Prairie. Jerry, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We are great. We're happy to have you, and we're happy to play some trivia. The category is Badgers Trivia Tuesday. I'm not even going to bother to ask if Tausch has any of the questions. I'll just handle it. Question one is this. What is the name of the venue in Denver where Wisconsin will play in the NCAA men's basketball tournament this week? Is it Ball Arena, the Bat Dome, or the Glove Center?
I'll go with A.
Good choice. We broke down the Milwaukee Brewers logo with that. Ball Arena. Good. Question two.
The Bat Dome is in Gotham City, I believe.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
That's right.
We got to get the Chippewa Falls.
That's where the Glove Center is.
Wrong button, sorry.
The John Tonje, question two. John Tonje currently ranks third on the all-time Badgers single-season scoring list, 61 points shy of which Badgers player who holds the all-time single-season scoring record? Is that record holder Devin Harris, Alando Tucker, or Frank Kaminsky?
I think it's Tucker.
I think You're wrong.
I jinxed Jerry.
Frankie. It's got to be Frankie.
Yep.
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank.
I jinxed him.
Why'd you jinx him?
Off air, I told Jerry I think he's going 3 for 3 on a Badgers Trivia Tuesday.
Way to Tausch him.
Badgers Trivia Tuesday is his category. Like, he owns this thing. He dominates it. I said that you should have a pretty easy time here. I jinxed him.
Who's number 2?
Alondo Tucker is number 2.
Oh, okay. Well, close, but not close enough, Jerry. Let's bounce back on question 3, which you now will also get wrong because Jesse jinxed you. The last time Wisconsin played Montana in the opening round of the NCAA tournament was in 2012, and the Badgers advanced to the Sweet 16. Which team defeated the Badgers in the Sweet 16 that season? Was it Baylor, Butler, or Syracuse?
I'm going to go with Butler.
Yeah, you really nailed it. Jesse, what the hell's the matter with you?
Sorry,
Come on, man.
I don't know what was easy about any of those.
Why does Jesse get so much enjoyment out of that?
Because he's a masochist.
No, the fact that I thought he was going to go 3 for 3. I never tell contestants, I think you're going 3 for 3 today. And today I tell Jared he goes 1 for 3 and is maybe his worst showing ever on a Badgers Trivia Tuesday.
Not going to lie, pretty bad, but those were hard. Who the hell knows who they lost to in 2012?
Well, I didn't remember.
No, he doesn't.
No, I thought 2012 they lost to Ole Miss in the opening round, so I got that mixed up. I remember the game. When you give me the 3 options, I remember the game. Syracuse in Boston, low-scoring game. Badgers were in it. Syracuse, I think, was a 1 seed. They were really good that year, but the Badgers' style matched up well with the 2-3 zone of Syracuse. Came down to the wire. Orange hit a shot late to win it.
Well, I'll have you guys know I would have taushed both of the second and third question.
They were easy from what I understand, and the expectation was for you to get them all right.
Real easy.
Jerry, you got 1.
You wouldn't have known Frank Kaminsky has the single-season scoring record? He was the National Player of the Year, Jerry.
I know.
Listen to Judgy McJudgerson here.
Those other 2 guys scored a lot of points, though.
They did. It's not like you said Chris Conger and Connor Sejan.
We're going to play
the other option.
Name a random Badger basketball player? We're going to have fun with that.
We can't do that, but we don't have enough time left. We've used up a lot of the program. Jerry, Jesse's jinxing notwithstanding, we appreciate your loyalty to the show. You got 2 entries into the drawing. We wish you good luck, my friend. Thanks.
Thanks. Love you guys.
That is Wilde and Tausch trivia, such that it was. Yeah, that was really something. Tausch, we need you to tell us about Prize Picks again, because we kind of lost you in the ether. And while Jesse and I finished off Run Your Game, I think in fairness to the nice people at Prize Picks, they'd probably like to hear more from you.
Let's do it. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. 10 million members, billions of dollars. Simple to play, more or less, on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. And you got a lot of hoops coming up, and you can parlay. You can play that along with hockey and baseball and esports and much, much more. It is the best place to cash in. Don't miss out on your chance to cash in as the league's best continue to fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today and use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Whoa, Nelly! And another chance to win tickets to Thanalysis Live. So stay tuned. Coming up next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members' direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
IndyCar racing returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park on August 23rd and 24th for the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 weekend. Secure your seats in the grandstands for the best views of all the action. Plus, we've pulled out all the stops with incredible food and live entertainment in the epic free fan zone. Race tickets are on sale now at wistatefair.com. Get ready because IndyCar is back with the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250, August 23rd and 24th.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
So at 3 Tree, we're storytellers through merchandise. Every brand we work with has a unique story, and we're there to tell it using merchandise, display, appreciation, and gifting.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
There's promo peddlers again, or tchotchke vendors, or whatever cliche people want to use. So we work with our client partners to become an extension of their team. We provide ideas, unique offerings that fit budget, timing, as well as messaging.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need. 3treemarketing.com.
Some road trips are about the journey, others are where they take you. And sometimes, the best destinations are just across the Wisconsin border. There you'll find Higher Love stands out with the largest selection of products at an unbeatable value, making every trip worth it. Less than an hour from Green Bay, and just over 2 from Milwaukee, Higher Love in Menominee is closer than you think. Come see why they are voted best in Michigan. Also find them in Ironwood or any of their 9 UP locations. Start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Be prepared for power outages with a Generac home standby generator from Adams. Storms are unpredictable, and when the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. With a Generac generator, your power will be automatically restored whether you're home or away. Rated Wisconsin's #1 Generac dealer, Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. And don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Time now. Hopefully better than trivia. Whoa, Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
I actually have a Packers question for Whoa Nelly today.
Have we talked about them today?
Very briefly. Well, I guess no. If you count Aaron Rodgers. Not a Packer, so I guess no.
Didn't talk about any stories on channel3000.com, I noticed.
No. Well, we'll have plenty of time to do so in the coming days. Gardner Minshew joined the Kansas City Chiefs late last week, kind of a lesser-known story, backing up Patrick Mahomes. Cooper Rush is now the backup to Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens. Cooper Rush, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys.
Where did Kurt Benkert end up?
I haven't seen.
Okay.
He's an internet guy.
He is an internet guy. Might be in the YouTube comments. We good with Malik Willis as QB2 for the Packers?
Yes.
Just want to make sure
Are
we're
you
all
crazy? Of course you are.
I just want to make sure we're all. I just want to make sure we're all set on that. He was great last year.
What you talk about, Willis?
Like for several years going into the preseason, the Tim Boyle conversation and some of the other guys that have been involved in that over the years was a storyline, and that is going to be a non-issue this year.
I don't think this is a bold take. I don't think there's a position on the team that you could be happier with than the backup quarterback spot. What position group do you feel better about? He came out and did everything you wanted when he was called upon last year with literally hardly any prep. You could say Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs, and I'm not going to fight you on it. But I'm saying when you start looking at this big picture, what grouping or position, or if you want to go second team, depth-wise, is there any spot on this team you feel better about than backup quarterback?
It's fair.
Hello?
Maybe
someone talk.
Maybe tight end.
I don't know. There's a lot of questions about Musgrave. Chipotle Ben? I don't know.
Hey, don't be dissing number 89.
I'm not Chipotle. I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying I feel better about Malik Willis than I do about what I'm going to get from Musgrave as a backup or as a second.
We have been guilty of a lot of crowning, a lot of palming on this program in the last 2 years. I think he played really well. Do I want Malik Willis to have to be the Packers starting quarterback for 15 games this season? I do not. I think that he is a top-flight backup, and you can game plan, and he can throw the ball better than people gave him credit for after the debacle of his time in Tennessee. Do I think the Packers can make the playoffs if Jordan Love tears his ACL during training camp? No. I don't think he's quite that good. Is that unfair of me?
7 teams make it.
Yeah, and the Packers made it as the 7th team both times with Jordan Love as their quarterback, who they're paying $55 million.
In fairness, Malik Willis was a critical part of 3 of those wins.
No doubt he was. I agree.
The way that I've thought about backup quarterbacks over the last decade, with Aaron Rodgers going down twice.
Have you thought about backup quarterbacks?
Yes, I have.
Okay, all right.
I think we spent more time than we needed to, gave more oxygen to Tim Boyle and Joe Callahan and Brett Hundley and all those conversations.
Sean Clifford.
Until they step in and have to start or play significant parts in half the season when someone goes down with an injury. So my thought is, if Jordan Love misses more than half the season, you're not going to win the Super Bowl anyway. That's just not going to be your year when your starting quarterback misses that many games.
Well, Jeff Hostetler says no, we can do that.
So
Haas said he could do it.
If you're going to miss,
Nick Foles said no problem.
But Nick Foles took over in that was late November. He took over for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, but he missed half the season.
That's not half. I'm saying if you miss 8 games, can you win 4 as the backup quarterback? And I think Malik Willis easily, you could say.
I've just given you 2 examples, and there's more out there. Washington had another one that they did. So, yes, I agree. The sentiment is, if you have to play 5 or 6 games, can you stay afloat, go 3-3, 4-2? And the answer is astonishingly yes. Yes, you can with Malik Willis. It's proven.
Nelly!
Astonishingly.
Yeah, I meant astoundingly, I think. But
you combined astonishing and astounding, and that's what you got.
I think it's a new word.
Astonishing.
It's a new word.
I like it.
Jesse, before you do the next one, this just reiterates that Brian Gutekunst, when he sees a problem, he doesn't just let that thing fester and start getting infected. you rip it out and you do something different. He did that with kicker, and he did it with backup quarterback. You don't just let these wounds continue to boo. Yeah. Medicate it. Move on. Get something different. He's done that with both of the big spots that you could make an argument were complete misses by him, whether it was drafting or not picking someone else up. And instead of sitting there and letting that wound fester and you start getting all these different types of infections, the Goodinator could be, you'll have to come up with the moniker, but he's the disinfectant. Let's figure it out. Let's get something new.
The disinfectant.
Whoa, Nelly!
An astonishing analogy.
Thanks.
Is there anything lamer? I forget if Josh DiMaggio seems like someone who may have shared this take first. Like,
you're saying he's lame?
No. Is there anything lamer than when the government officials get involved in sports? The way that the West Virginia governor did yesterday, standing at a lectern that says National Corrupt Athletic Association in front of it, saying that West Virginia being left out of the first four in lieu of North Carolina was a, quote, miscarriage of justice and robbery at the highest levels.
I'm gonna disagree with both of you. I want a governor and a mayor to be proud of their town and to stick up for what they think is wrong. Now, do I want you spending a ton of time on it when you could get into all of the other issues that we have? No. But if you want to, on the day after, to let it be known to your state and everybody else that you got jobbed, and you want to stand up there and you spend 10 minutes on it and you move on with your life, I want a mayor / governor / whatever to be proud of their state and to vehemently defend when they think there's something wrong that is done on a big scale. Hey man, athletics, you don't have to love it. Athletics is, what did Alvarez always say? It's the doorstep to your university. You want to promote your universities. Stand up when you think you got jobbed. Now, if he's sitting here in 3 months and he's like drafting up legislation and thinking West Virginia should have won a national championship, then I'm going to say you're being an idiot. But for this, on one day after Selection Sunday, and you're letting you know how proud of your town you are, he's proud of his town. I'm good with it.
I'm gonna.
Proud of his town. You know, that's a damn rare thing these days.
I got no problem with him speaking out and giving his opinion. I think when you use hyperbole and that kind of phrase, a robbery at the highest level,
a miscarriage of justice,
I think I would like my politicians to have some semblance of recognition of what really is important and what is just unfair and pisses you off as a fan of West Virginia Mountaineers basketball. I think it's fine that he spoke out. I'm glad he spoke out. But to characterize it with those phrases is melodramatic, and it's searching for headlines. And congratulations, because he made it onto a little show here in Wisconsin. But yeah, I understand.
Welcome to politics. That's the way it goes.
I'm aware of, unfortunately, how politics operates. I am just saying that I still want better, and very rarely do I get that from the political realm.
You should run. I think you should run.
I have thought about that. I don't think I would deal well with people who disagree with me and then would attack me personally. I'm watching these.
Or not?
I'm watching these commercials for the Supreme Court of Wisconsin. It's all negative attack ads. It's just ugly. I don't think I would do. I have enough trouble with the YouTube comments.
You're not really big. You're not really big on the high road, anyways. Get down in the gutter. And
You're
see
good
what you got.
in the gutter. He says.
You're a gutter guy. You like being down there in the gutter. Like, you're a gutter guy.
You know where I like to be? I'd like to be at Thanalysis Live, and I could be there if I am caller number 10. Wait a minute, I'm not eligible. But you could be there if you are caller 10 right now to 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. You will win 2 2 tickets to Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis for a live show that is going to entertain fans like none other. Last year, Thanasis surprised his brother Giannis, who, by the way, was also there, with a surprise appearance from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. You don't even know who's going to be showing up this year. Maybe it'll be the Badgers outsider, who was so well received when he appeared on our show moments ago. If you don't win tickets here on Wilde and Tausch, though, you can still get your tickets to Gruber Office's Thanalysis Live right now. Just visit ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison on their social channels for event and ticket information. Excitement and entertainment you can't get anywhere else. It's Gruber Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbless, and supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's. Caller number, what caller did I say again, Jesse?
You said 10.
Caller 10 right now.
Oh, God.
That's a long read. I forgot what caller I'd said.
That's true. Yeah.
Caller 10 right now
At any either. I can
wins
tell you that.
2
Gutter
tickets to Thanalysis Live.
We already have them.
Thanalysis Live. 2 tickets courtesy of McDonald's. Caller 10-844-770.
We literally do already have them.
76.
Congrats, caller 10. We have them on hold.
I'm just reading all the copy here, man.
Oh, my
That's all
God.
I'm doing. Just trying to do my part. Thank you to McDonald's.
Prize picks, run
Potawatomi-
your game. Oh, no. That's
Potawatomi Hotel and Casino.
Thought we had moved on.
The Prisoner Wine Company and Gruber Law Offices. We'll wrap things up next and find out who caller 10 is when they call, which they already did.
They already are at the theater. No, they're already down at the show. Analysis just let them in. Thanasis said, "Hey, man, good that you're here."
Brewers baseball is in the...
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Will the green and gold rise to the next level, or will they stay in limbo?
I'm in a downer spot as it pertains to the Green Bay Packers. Are they going to be bad? No. Are they going to win a championship? No. Are they going to be somewhere in the middle? Yes. And that just feels like I just did that. I feel like I'm in the same place that I was. They're going to win 9 to 12 games, somewhere in that range.
Get all your Packers predictions here. Kyle Bruston Nortman, weekdays from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN